James
It's
can
the
get a
Stanley
picture
Cup of bonsai. the Saunders Cup. Welcome back to Blue Jay Bonsai. And in today's episode, James and Derrick and I go to visit Nigel Saunders in the Bonsai Zone to drop off the new Adenium and for the guys to get a quick tour.
Oh my goodness, I thought it was like in a little pot like this.
No.
Wow.
Now you know why I was shocked when he gave them to me.
That's huge. Thanks, Mario. That is awesome.
Now, where to put it, eh? That's the question. I'll leave it outside for now.
You need quite a bit of rearranging, I think.
We have to make some space in it.
If you see, this is what started me into bonsai. It just started growing in an office plant. And it looked like a tree, and a little tree, and I thought, I really like that.
Mm-hmm.
So I put it in its own pot and just kept growing it and growing it. And everyone told me it was tall and skinny, and everyone said, cut it down, you gotta get taper on the trunk and all that. And I thought, I want it to be a fairly large tree in the end. And so I ignored their advice, just kept growing it, and it's just starting to kind of look nice now. Yeah.
It looks so much bigger on your video.
It was very tiny. I was lucky to get it painted that well, I think. That is my Portulacaria Afroforce. That's the Norfolk Island pine forest. So it's just starting to leaf out again. Again, I pruned that back fairly hard. But yeah, you get these big fronds.
Yeah.
And then you cut it all back to just a little bit. And then it starts regrowing. You can see the buds growing in here. This is that Natal ficus. So that's, you got a cutting of that now.
Yeah.
They are probably the #1 ficus. That's the best ficus for bonsai. They're amazing. This thing will grow. It grows aerial roots like not even in a humid environment. It shoots all these aerial roots out in the summer. As soon as you start pruning them, they reduce down. Yeah, it's amazing. Joey gave me this too. Well, I bought it actually. This is a jade. This was a big jade that he just took the saw or the pruners, just cut it off flat, let it regrow, and now it's looking pretty cool. The cutting is fused on top of the top that died back, so I drape the roots down over the trunk and kind of fusing together. And
Is that the one you call Frankenstein?
Yeah,
Frankenfrankus. Yeah, Frankenfrankus.
Yeah, some viewer dubbed that name. It's pieced together with the life before.
It looks amazing, like a real big tree.
Derrick imagined it bigger in real life. And
It was a compliment. You thought it was bigger, so
It is. Like, I've always thought it was a beautiful tree, but when I came last time and I saw it for the first time, I remember Nigel, I just kept talking about it because I was stunned. I can't believe the branches under there.
yeah, it's
Well, thank you. It's been a while. The development that one.
yeah. Well, no, I always look at your videos and I go, wow, I want a tree like that. I want a tree. But when you come and see it in person, it's totally like another level.
Yeah.
Right?
I know what you mean. Yeah, you see. That's the one I did on a video recently. The ficus fancy, we call it.
Yeah, with the pads you were working on.
Yeah, so it's starting to get a bit of structure to the branches now, and something that I just keep building on in the future. Little person growing bonsai, you've got to hate trees.
Yeah.
And the more you hate them, the more you'll hack them back, and then you'll get successful with the end. But if you have no love for them and you just hack them back, then you'll probably they'll probably look better eventually than anything you'll really delicately care for. So this yucca forest down here, it's going to get hard pruned this winter. It's going to be a bit of a risky operation.
So when you say hard prune, you'll leave it just a little bit of green on, or is it
No.
all gone?
Come on, it's Nigel.
It's Nigel, yes. Okay.
It's got a lot of growing to do, this one, but it's just starting to look better, I would say. Because a lot of these trees were cuttings, seedlings. When I collected some of the other thujas, there's like little twisty ones growing at the base of the tree that I rooted or I developed. So a lot of these have a bit too much movement for an old growth forest, but they're kind of straightening out over time, and they'll get more character as they get older, I guess.
So James, do you have a preference of the larch forest?
Yes.
That's my favorite too.
The larch is just starting to get some fall colors on it. So all those needles will fall off. And these are actually silver maples now. Ray says if they have the red in them, they're a cross between a red maple and a silver maple. I kind of like that I get yellows and reds. So these are all just from seeds from the tree down the street. And these are red maples here. These are red maples. Yeah, these are seeds off of the biggest tree I've ever seen, the biggest red maple I've ever seen. The diameter of the trunk is just huge. It's amazing to see. These are Douglas firs. Those are the ones that came to me in a suitcase. They were on an airline flight from out west, and they were folded in half in a suitcase, and somehow most of them survived. There's one back here that didn't make it, but the rest made it. And I wouldn't say they've been growing with tremendous vigor, but they're starting to recover now. You can see they're getting a lot of kind of back buds and stuff. And this is from Joey. He gave me this too, the juniper. I don't know, I'll do something. I'll probably make that a traditional Japanese looking bonsai rather than a tree from nature. I don't know. This is my American elm. That was started in the front garden out there. Yeah, maybe someday it'll become something. That's a black spruce. Trying to get that as tight as I can. I just pruned that recently, and I don't know. We'll see if it lives. If it lives, it'll be cool. If it doesn't, well, it doesn't. This is my little cedar spirit tree. The idea is to grow this as gnarly and twisted as possible. It's growing over a limestone rock, and it just got pruned back. So I let it grow each year, prune it back.
And eventually, will you expose more of the rock?
Yeah, it will get exposed. These are these royal oaks. Well, they're English oak, but they were brought over from England to commemorate the King George, the coronation in I think it was 34, 36, somewhere around there. So these aren't miniaturized at all. So you can get them down. You can see, I've seen them, that size on the whole tree, which is pretty cool for an oak.
Yeah.
So I have seeds. If you remind me, I can give you them.
Okay, sure.
Yeah, so a lot of these are just starting out here. There's a birch here, larches, my little cedars growing over there. There's a Scots Pine root of a rock here. That's growing over a big limestone rock. It's getting old, that thing. This tree came from that area the club went to collect. At the edge of the trail are all these cedars where they've just hacked them off. And this is one. You can see the original stump is cut off there. So then it regrew. And I thought, okay.
This is the one you left in the plastic bag for, was it in the plastic bag?
Not this one, that was another one. Yeah, that was their plastic bag for, a year and a half. Over winter, it was nightshade pine. It's coming along okay.
Yeah, it does. For a week. Yeah, it looks like a tree.
Yeah, it's kind of getting some taper and everything. Yeah, that amazed me. This is my bird's nest spruce here. It's getting to be an old tree, that one. It's getting there.
So that's the one that I was telling Nigel. I thought that tree was so much bigger until I saw it in real life. So then, as Nigel was saying, that's a compliment.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. It is. Yeah.
You want the tree to look huge, and then when you see it in real life, it's this little tiny thing. Tony Astor from Canadian Tire this year.
needs another pruning. But these are 2 elms from the front yard again, this American elms. You know, again, they have big cut marks on them, which I don't know. Like, you know, from one view they may look okay, but it'll take many, many years for that even start callousing over. This is the one that was in the bag. Sort of cascade one. Yeah, it's developing quite well. Oh, T-Rex fell down. Put him there. Guardian of the tree. That's a Japanese black pine. Michael grew these from seeds in the club, and so I got it as a little tiny seedling, and it's I think it's 3rd year now. So the native white pine, it doesn't look like much yet, but it got its first good root pruning this year. Nice radial root base. I bare rooted it, pruned it all, and it recovered quite nicely. I would think eventually it'll probably lose the lower branches and develop kind of a canopy on top. This is the pot that Shani from Quebec sent to me, and he wanted me to plant something in it, so I picked this Scots Pine.
Yeah, it looks good.
And it has a lot of development to go on the Scots Pine, but hopefully someday the tree will develop and suit the pot nicely. This is another one of these collected cedars from our club collection trip. And it's a clump, so there's 5 trunks growing out of the root base. Now, this is my Austrian pine. I got a severe pruning.
Yeah, we watched that recently.
That was another one I was a little nervous about. But I think you'll see next spring this thing is going to back bud and it'll look nice, I think. I hope. That's my larch and black spruce forest.
The bog forest, right?
The bog forest, yeah.
Like I was telling Nigel, I love the dead trees in there. I think they just look amazing.
Yeah.
These guys.
Those are Osage Oranges back there. They get like the citrus kind of trunk on them, but they grow into huge trees, like just huge. Horse apples, they call them. They get the fruit on them about this big. So that was my wife's rosemary, and she says I can have it as long as I give her the clippings. That's my cement thing. So this is going to get a ficus or 2 growing over it.
I think
You'll work on this again in the winter?
Yeah.
Because I like that. I watched those videos.
Yeah, I watched that too. It's really cool.
Can I just pick it up? I want to see how heavy it is.
Yeah.
'Cause it was
There it is.
it was pretty heavy.
Is it like holding the Stanley Cup, Derek?
Yeah, hold it